Hello, everyone. Welcome to Painless Universal, a conversation with me, Anne Welsh. Each time I'll be sharing stories, inspirational stories with you, with different guests from being young and all sorts of people all over the world, because I want you to know people's story. They're out there to inspire us. Today's guest is Marley Miller. She's a 17-year-old girl who is an influencer. She's also a model. She's doing great things, but I'll wait for her to tell you all about her story. She's inspired me, and this is why I invited her to be one of my second guests. This is episode 2. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm keeping up well. It's challenging, but it's good. How you look absolutely gorgeous and well rested, so that's good. That's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Yes. So, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 17 years old. I'm still in education.
You know, I can't believe you are 17. I'm just going to turn up the volume slightly so everyone can.
How
Okay.
old do I look?
You know what? This day and age, I never know. I just never know. But you look 17. I'm sure even if I see you, probably still be 17. Yeah, you look 17. Yeah, but you.
Well, yeah, I'm in my first year of college and I'm studying business and enterprise.
Uh-huh.
So it's just about like building your own business and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I've currently got like a hair and nails business. So I'm just using that as like a guideline for my future, basically.
Okay.
I'm also trying to become an Instagram influencer. So I'm just starting my journey on that recently. And I'm just collaborating with like small brands, just doing a few like photo shoots just to kind of build up my platform.
Oh, that's great.
I also do YouTube. So that's also another factor that will help me build up my platform in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me really.
Wow. You know what? I must start this conversation by saying I was just thinking when I was going to have this conversation with yourself, and I was thinking, where was I at 17? And so at 17 was when I moved over from Nigeria to come over. 18 was when I actually did the move. So I was just leaving secondary school, and I moved over back to the UK. And I reflect on those times because it was absolutely so different. I had to start everything again. I had to start college, to go and start GCSE, A level, and all of that. And I look back and I think, how did I, at that age, manage to start life again? And I look at you, who kind of know what you want, because I didn't even know what I wanted. My mom was actually the one directing me, saying, "Oh, you have to do your GCSE. Oh, you have to do your A levels." What is all this? So I'm really inspired when I meet young people who know what they want at a very young age, because I think when you kind of know what you want, that gives you a stepping stone in life earlier to kind of put yourself in that direction of the business you need to go in. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on this conversation. So this platform is really talking about challenges. So as you know, I'm not sure what you know about me. I don't know if he told you or if he's not, but I am an author. Before I became an author, I was a PR. I run my own PR firm, so it's marketing and PR. I used to work at the Big Five, one of the Big Five investment bank. I used to run a charity as well. I used to suffer from a blood disorder called sickle cell anemia, which led me to write my book because of all the challenges I faced over the years, and also moving from one continent to the other. Also gave me that inspiration that there's something is not right in this world, that I also need to compare and write this and analyze this and see how to make life easier for everyone. And to talk to you as a young person, it inspires me because it just brings back such memory and everything. So Marley, I'm so happy to have you on board and have this conversation. So my first question for you is about the whole coronavirus. I'm sure you had your whole life ahead of you. How are you feeling with this whole issue of coronavirus? Being a young girl, itching to go out, itching to go do what everyone else is doing, and that now you're stuck home and not being able to do anything much, just do the normal stuff online. How do you feel? How are you?
Well, at first, it affected me a lot because I'm a type of person that likes to go out and just be productive, whether it's meeting up with my friends or planning something. I just like to go out and, just enjoy my life, basically.
Yeah.
So when the whole lockdown first happened, it was a dramatic change for me because I'm having to stay in my house and just, not able to go out, see my friends, see my family, see my grandma, who I always go and see like every week.
Yes, yeah.
So that affected me a lot because I was literally just in my bed watching Netflix, being really unproductive.
Oh.
And then I thought to myself, you know what, let me use this time
Oh.
as kind of like a journey for me, just to help my self-development and help my future and just basically better myself, meaning from my YouTube to my college stuff, just everything basically. So then I just started to like be more productive with my content and my work, and I was just keeping on top of stuff. So now it's kind of normal to me, and I think I kind of prefer it this way because I'm able to, get things done. But I do miss going out, obviously going cinema, going out to eat and stuff like that.
I love what you just said, because that reflects on me as well. When this first happened, I was absolutely on Netflix. As I think this is when I started binging on I've never watched Netflix before. This was when I just subscribed to it, and I was binging. I don't know why I did that. Probably because I thought this would just last for 1 week or 2 weeks and it would go away. So I was binging and binging. I just said work could go away. I could just put work to the side and not worry about that. But I think by week 3, something just snapped at me. I'm thinking, what are you doing? Although I was still giving a lot of inspirational quotes, I was keeping busy that way. I was, looking after the kids, doing the home routine, but I just wasn't looking after my own inner self. By my brain, I was just doing things I shouldn't do. Then I decided one day I woke up and said enough. I set myself my own routine because I was making my kids were organized. Everyone else around me was organized, but I was not organized. So I said, no, enough. I set myself my own routine. I changed my diet and had a diet routine as well. And also television had a time. I said, these are the times I'll be watching television. And if it doesn't fall between this time, there's no television allowed. So I became straight on myself, and I found that I became more productive and I gave more to myself, and I was able to add value and create more things that I think will make a huge difference once all of this is over, which I'm so excited that I took that time to do. And I'm happy to hear that it wasn't just me that went through that phase, that you actually felt that you felt that numbness of using Netflix or whatever, television to numb yourself. But how is the environment? Do you have a schedule like I did? What did you do differently to keep yourself straight? Because everybody watching this want to know, okay, this is a young girl, she's going through this phase. How did she do it? So I just want to know, how did you keep yourself disciplined?
Well, the first thing I did was I made like a workout plan.
Yeah.
So, people always say, oh yeah, working out makes you feel so much better. Da, 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 da. When I actually did it, it's so true. Like, it honestly makes you feel so much better. And then when you do it early as well, it makes you feel motivated to do stuff in the day.
Yeah.
So then after I'll do my workout, it will be time for my online college lessons. So then I'll do my work. And then after that, I'll just be writing down ideas for my YouTube channel, thinking of brands that I can collab with on Instagram, just doing stuff like that, basically.
Okay, so I want to know a little bit about your modeling career and how did you get into modeling, and what have you done so far with that?
Well, so far I'm not really in the industry yet, but I'm looking to kind of get myself into it. So far I've done a couple shoots with like some small clothing brands.
Yes.
One of them is like a French brand called Celavi. Okay. And we basically went to central London and we took pictures in the jumpers and stuff. So that was like my first kind of shoot. But now I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way for me to get into the industry, really. And obviously Haroon told me that you're a really big fashion person.
Yes.
So do you know any like links into getting into the modeling industry?
So as being someone who's young, and I always said at the beginning, when I was your age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But you're lucky, I've seen my experience and know what the best path is. The best way is to join a reputable agency that will put your name out there, that really, send your pictures to all these various brands. And the good thing is that models are no longer what we used to know of them before. Models are all kinds. People are actually looking for models that are so different. And I think you fit so well with what the typical models that they're looking for right now. But I think you need to start off with joining an agency. All my life, I've loved fashion. It's something that just, when I think about fashion, I get the buzz. And with modeling, you also have to have that buzz, because as much as people think it's fun to do modeling, it's also a job, because it can be very, very stressful. And what I mean stressful is that you're going for lots of casting, and you're staying for days. You're also seeing, you're also disappointed because sometimes you go for casting and you've been waiting for so long and they don't pick you for that job. Or, there's so much different challenges that come with it. But the Instagram platform is a great platform for work nowadays. Lots of brands are looking out there to get collaboration with different people. So you need to keep that active. You need to keep it fun. You need to get your fellow 17-year-old to also follow you as well, because brands want to see that, for example, if I invest in you, for example, I want to see that you have reach to so many other people that would buy the products that you're wearing. So you need to show that in your story. So make your story very exciting, that when people click on it, they were like, I want to buy that then. So you need to get your brands to kind of follow you. So have you been doing anything like that? Can you tell me a little bit about your social media page and everything about yourself?
So with my social media page, I've been promoting it on my other social media platforms. So YouTube is basically the main platform that gets me more followings, because when people watch my videos, and they'll go in the description and then see my Instagram.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, they have fashion pages that repost your pictures. And a few fashion pages with a high following have reposted my pictures, and then from that, people have seen that and then followed me. So that's the two main factors that have built up my following so far, but obviously I'm still trying to find ways to keep on expanding it.
No, I think that's a great platform. So apart from this, what do you think will be what else are you looking at in terms of moving your life to the next stage? Because you're 17, you still have so much so much ahead of you. So as a young person, young female girl, how do you think you want to add value to the society? What are the things you're looking to do differently from the rest of your peers?
Well, next year I'm definitely looking to go to uni. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what course I'm trying to do yet, but I know I'm definitely trying to go. Mm-hmm. So in September, when I go back to college, I'll be speaking with my teachers about what courses will be good for me. And that's it really. Okay.
Now, I think you have to also understand what it is that you love to do. Try and stretch back and think about what is it that you actually just don't think about doing a course for the sake of it. Because I made that initial mistake where I chose a path that I look back and I thought, why did I do this? Because my dad was an accountant. I thought I wanted to be an accountant, but I'm more the creatives person. I like to be creative. I like to use my imagination. I like to talk to people. And I found in accounting, I wasn't doing that. So I spent many years at university studying accounting, but I never took it on as a job because I just didn't find my calling there. So my advice on that sense is that you should choose something that if I wake you up at 6 a.m. and say, do you want to come to work? You're excited about coming to work because that is the only thing that will keep you going. It will keep you excited. It will keep you going. So if you know it's fashion, you have to choose something related to that. So you have to understand, are you more creative person? Do you like to speak to people? What do you like to do? So you really need to write all of these things down to better understand what works best for you. So I was going to ask, he never answered me, Haroon. If you have a painless journey you could share with us, anything that you've had to overcome to get to where you are today?
Um,
Because
I
life is
mean,
never easy for anyone. He has his blood disorder, but I'm just wondering if there's anything you've had that you had to overcome to get to where you are. So something, a word of inspiration to someone in your shoe, because you might think you're not even doing so well, but someone else, who's going to watch this interview, be like, wow, how is she? How did she get from this to this? How does she keep herself leveled? I want to know, what is your story that keeps you so sane, so mature and everything?
I mean, I haven't really had a major obstacle, but I feel like the main thing with me was my confidence. Like a few years ago, I wasn't really confident, so I was never really like taking pictures or like wearing certain stuff because I just wasn't confident in myself.
Mm.
But then I can't remember what video I watched, but I watched a video about a lady, and she was just basically saying why it's important to be confident in yourself, and
Mm.
it just really inspired me. And then she said something like, every day go in the mirror and say to yourself, I am beautiful. And then I just tried that, and it really helped me like become confident in myself. And then that's when I started building up my platform from that.
Wow. Wow, that's inspiring. I would never have thought that. So how did you get into the YouTube? Because I think other guests as well will want to know, how did you get into the YouTube space at such a young age? What did you do?
Well, when I was in secondary school, my friends were always telling me, Marley, you should start YouTube, you should start YouTube. And I never actually thought about
No, why do
actually
they
doing
think you should start it? What was that? What was it
I think
about?
it was just my personality.
Uh-huh.
I think
Okay.
it was my personality. And obviously, because I'm always doing beauty stuff or my hair differently, there was like, you know what, you need to go on YouTube and show this stuff. And then my first video was a collab with this, it's like a curly hair brand called
Oh,
Jessie Curl. And I was basically just unboxing the products and reviewing them. And then from that, I was like, yeah, like this is something that I actually want to do. And
mm.
then from then, I kept on making more videos.
Oh, wow. So anyone listening, would you just if people are telling you go ahead and do something, they should actually listen, because probably you are good at it, but you just don't see it yourself. And you should go ahead and just try it out, because you never know, and you never know, you might enjoy it. But I like the what you just said about finding your own appreciation of who you are. How you never used to be a confident person, and all of a sudden you just get this confidence, so where you could actually be on YouTube to actually promote yourself, which a lot of people still struggle with, because being a female, a lot of girls have so much insecurity around them, but you just have managed to overturn that. What are your plans for the future? I mean, you're still young, but what are your plans for the future?
I mean, in the future, I just plan on being successful. I know a lot of people say I just want to be successful,
Yeah.
but from now I'm really trying to build up myself to become successful, because that's the main thing that I want. Success and happiness are the two things that I just want for my life.
And what would you say to in terms of help from the government? Um, We've heard that so many people are dying from the coronavirus, especially Black ethnic minority. How is that affecting your household, and how are you taking that? Do you feel nervous about it, that you might lose your nan, or how are you taking that? Because for me, I feel a little bit, and I feel nervous about it, because you read it so much in the news, and I'm not quite sure how to deal with it, because at the end of the day, we're Black and we live in the country, and how are we going to overcome this? How are you managing to deal with this issue of the ethnic minority dying?
I mean, it is very worrying because me and my nan are so close. Like, I'm always going to see her
Mm.
twice, 3 times a week. And
Mm.
it's just been a tradition where every Sunday we'll go there for dinner and she'll cook
Yeah.
us food and stuff. So it's kind of sad, like, not seeing her, because obviously she's getting quite old now. So I
Mm.
just want to make the most out of it, like the time that she has got left.
Mm.
So like the FaceTime calls, they're not really enough for me. Like, I'm not able to hug her and really like see her properly. So yeah, it is quite worrying about that. But yeah, she's just staying in her like in her house. So
And not coming out. Yeah, it's
yeah,
worrying times. I'm just going to reverse back to the question where you said you love to be happy and successful for the future. But if I put one question to you now, what do you think it takes to be successful?
I mean, success is within, really. Like, anyone could say, oh yeah, I've been successful from doing this, from doing this. It's really about what you see as successful, like what fulfills your goals and what you think you're content with, really.
Yes, yeah. Because I learned over time, over the years, that success is not just about what you own or what you have, or how big or how small your house is. Success is about being satisfied where you are, because you never, if you're never satisfied, you always want more, 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 and you never know when to stop, and we never know when to start appreciating what you have. So for me, I defined it as, okay, I'm here, and I'm being happy where I am, even if I want more, but still appreciating what I have at the moment. So I'm glad you at least you have that definition of what success means to you, because it's, if you start now at a young age to understand it, then achieving those goals, it makes it a lot easier, because your beliefs are stronger than all the negative energy that will draw you out. Because if there's negative energy, people then have this view of, I want, and not understanding why they want. You know, Marley, you're such a pretty girl, and I know that there's so much more out there that you're going to achieve. I want to ask you, what's our final question is, what would be my painless journey was overcoming living with sickle cell, which is a chronic blood disorder. So I had to overcome that one way or the other and find joy. What would you want to overcome with this coronavirus? What joy do you want to spark to do? What do you want to do once this coronavirus, when it's all over?
As well as developing myself, I just want to develop my platform, because I feel like that's the thing that's going to just guide what I actually want to do. So with my Instagram following, my YouTube subscriptions, I just want it to rise and just basically be able to do what I'm doing, but 10 times better, and just work harder than ever, really.
And I think you'll get there, because you're so driven. You're stunning. You just have to keep believing in yourself. You have to keep focused and don't let anything distract you, because I didn't start any of my enjoyment of life until I was about 22. So you guys are lucky you're at a technology age, but look at this lockdown, you're still able to have this conversation with myself, and this keep improving your profile, keep reaching out to brands as well, because they make such a huge difference. And when they see your page, that's what you're doing, they will definitely contact you. Marley, I love your story, and I'm sure we'll be keeping in touch, because I really love you, and I would love to meet you in person, give you a hug, and see how we could do some collaboration together once this is all over. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'll be in touch with you again soon, and because I would love to know what you did after once this coronavirus then is over. And I wish your family well. Stay safe. And
thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome, and I look forward to seeing you in future. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, you had it. You spoke to Marlene. She's a fun, outgoing young girl. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, guys. At her age, I'm being honest with you, I was clueless about myself. I didn't even know what the next thing meant for me. I just knew I had to go to school, and that was it. I didn't know. But that was then. Today's world is totally different. I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Anne Welsh. Painless conversation. This is to inspire you, to keep you going, to keep you motivated. Keep joining me to hear more. And if you love this episode of episode 2, discussing with Marlene about how she overcomes her pain, how she's finding joy, how about this influencer, global influencer, ambassador. Join me for the next episode. Pick Bet to Be. You won't regret it. Thank you.